part of me wants to kick off this entire video with a huge apology to none other than Pharrell Williams. Not that he probably knows what I said. When he took over for LV Men's, I was like, okay, this is just a gimmick. This isn't going to go well, and we're going to have another, 10 years of bad LV. The ladies section, I love Nicolas Ghesquiere, but the women's section just can't seem to get it right. Like the Capucines, there's some good ones, but overall, the women's department is a little bit bland, which we've talked about in a previous video. But guys, Pharrell Williams is literally killing it for LV Men's. Normally when it comes to bags, as you can see behind me, I typically shop in the women's section just because it's so much better than the men's section. I said what I said, save space. He seems to actually understand the history of the brand, where it's been, its tradition, its ethos, rather than just giving us, over-the-top avant-garde looks every time. With Pharrell Williams, it is all in the details, all the way down to literally the floor of the runway. This collection was so well planned, so well designed, so well created, and it was so cohesive from look 1 all the way through 76. And today we're going to dive in because, guys, there are some amazing new bags coming out. But listen, if you're looking for some really well-priced Louis Vuitton items, guys, I have just the place for you to check out. Now listen, I've been buying pre-owned luxury now for about 20 years. There has been so much guesswork and trying to find the perfect place to shop. You try one site and they don't have great photos, another site has terrible slow shipping, another site their prices don't match the condition. It is a minefield out there, right? But when it comes to this new site, Zenlux over in Japan, I have found the perfect place to shop, you guys. Now with Zenlux, they take the guesswork out of everything with their authenticity guarantee, and their shipping is the fastest I have ever encountered and the best packed, hands down, bar none. With Zenlux, you can find brands like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Van Cleef & Arpels, Christian Dior. It is literally all there on the website because Zenlux teams up with a number of resale shops based in Japan. The quality of the photos, guys, some of the listings had nearly 20 pictures for just one handbag. Some of these other websites could never. So if you're in the market for some pre-owned luxury, definitely head over to Zenlux. Make sure you use my code. Everything will be linked down below, but my code, ZenCaleb25, is going to give you 2,000 JPY off of an order over 5,000 JPY, which it's a great way to introduce yourself to the Zenlux brand. And trust me, after your first order, it is going to become an obsession because if you're anything like me, I quite literally check that site almost every day at this point. I've found beautiful Birkins, brand new inbox Hermes pieces, which I unboxed for you guys recently in a recent haul. I just could not be more excited. This is the perfect partnership, and I want to say a huge thank you to the team over at Zenlux for sponsoring today's video. Now let's talk about a little bit more luxury, all right? I have rambled enough. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation, you guys, because this collection was so mind-blowing good. So at first look, again, I was so annoyed with the videographers, but that's a rant we'll get to later. But at first look, the runway, it recalled that game Chutes and Ladders, or Snakes and Ladders, which was originally invented over in India. Basically with this collection, which was very apparent through the music, some of the materials used, the floor, the snakes and ladders, if you will, all the way down to the re-release of the Wes Anderson Darjeeling Limited pattern on a lot of the trunks and the luggages and things. This was an ode to India through kind of like a Wes Anderson twist. It was so good, you guys, and I'm excited to dive in. So we're gonna look at most of the bags here, and then there's a few details and full runway looks that we're going to talk about as well. But he kicked off the show with a new mini Speedy P9. And guys, this is done in the most royal shade of plum. Now I can't tell from the photos if the monogram with the purple is done in kind of a glittering gold. Be absolutely fabulous and so on brand for what the entire collection brought. And I'm also loving the crystal and metal detailing along the sides of these trousers that was shown with this look. Oh my gosh, just the amount of detail that went into this collection. We're going to see the frog motif quite a bit. So when he and his team were at the studio Mumbai, just kind of spitballing and planning out this collection, they saw a lot of frogs in the garden there at the studio, and that's what inspired them to do this frog motif. So look closely. You're going to see frog locks, much like the cadenas from Hermes. You're going to see frog locks on some of the Speedy P9s, the luggage pieces. There's even a frog bag that we're going to be looking at here in a moment. Absolutely fabulous. Totally Pharrell, right? Bag number 2. I think this is going to be a new take on the hobo cargo bag. And what I'm loving about this one, it's done in a rich chocolate leather, and that was a lot of the colors done for this collection. So with this collection, we saw a lot of gorgeous colors. We saw deep shades of navy and blue. We saw plums. We saw green. There's a shocking green piece coming up here later on. We also saw a new take on the Prince of Wales check, and just overall, top to bottom, when it comes to Pharrell Williams, it is all in the details. You can't just look at the outfit first glance. You've got to really dissect it. It's such an intelligent way of designing things. He absolutely nails it. I should probably introduce myself in case you're new around here. Hey guys, my name's Caleb. I post luxury and lifestyle related content several times a week, both here on my YouTube and over at my website, curatedbycaleb.com. Make sure to mark your calendars because Sunday, June 29th at 4 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be having the Icon Sale. This is going to include everything from Ralph Lauren. We have a Ralph Lauren Ricky going into the sale. There's Valentino, Burberry, YSL, Coach, Duty & Burke, everything fabulous and iconic. See what I did there? Also, if you're interested in a little bit more access here to the channel, just beyond hitting that subscribe button, which please do, hit this QR code over on the side of your screen and consider joining the membership. We have a lovely community, a very supportive, like-minded community who loves all of these gorgeous luxury things that we're all obsessed with, and I think you'd be right at home with our group. Trust me, we're a ton of fun, I promise. But back to this bag in this gorgeous chocolate leather. This is a bag I think I could get on board with. Listen, you all know I love cargo. I also love LV leather, much like my Suhali collection, which also hails from the West Indies. I don't know if that was a tie-in or not, but roll with it. You know, come on this journey with me. Now this next bag, this is the Keep All Cargo Bandolier. How I do not have this yet in my collection is blowing my mind. It looks very similar in size to like a Speedy 35. Again, look closely, hanging there off the zipper tab, we have the frog lock. I absolutely love the attention to detail. Now it does come with the luggage tag, but unlike the women's section, doesn't have that silly little metal LV on the front. They've typically leaned towards silver hardware for the men's collections historically, and the fact that Pharrell Williams is keeping with that tradition, A+, well done. I also love the socks. These socks are woven with the LV monogram. The loafers are stunning. Again, we have that beautiful whales check on the outfit. Just perfect. Perfectly done. The next bag that we saw on the runway after this look was paired with a beautiful tailored suit. The tailoring, you guys, from this collection was just top tier. Absolutely stunning. With this one, we have kind of like, it looks like an exotic alligator trunk. Maybe it's done in crocodile, fitted with gold accents, and it's in this stunning shade of emerald. We're leaning into a lot of jewel tones with this collection, and listen, I could not be happier. It is no secret I love rich jewel tones, and that is pretty much what encapsulates this collection when it comes to colors. I think the price tag would be eye-watering, but nonetheless gorgeous. Sticking along the lines of exotic bags, this next one is obviously an updated take on the classic steamer bag. Now, the steamer bag for LV is like their answer to the hack from Hermes. Stunning, gorgeous, rooted in tradition and history, but he's updated it. He's elevated it with this extra hardware on the front, the extra pockets. It looks like it has the D-rings to go crossbody style or on the shoulder. Again, absolutely stunning, done in another jewel tone, just top tier, peak perfection. Now this next bag, I don't think this is one that they've previously done. It looks like it's an updated Speedy meets Keep All, but it also has longer straps. It's kind of reminding me of like the Sac Supple from way back in the day. That's a throwback for my LV hardcore lovers from vintage era LV, pre-Marc Jacobs, if you will. This one, we have that stunning frog motif once again there on the lock. I love the colorway accented with vachetta. It's just absolutely stunning. And what I also love about this collection, he was not afraid to combine patterns, stripes, things that you don't think would actually work together, but worked harmoniously in kind of an offbeat way. It was just perfection. I keep saying perfection, that's today's word of the day. In the last video it was delicious and fabulous. This week, perfection is what we're going with. Roll with it, right? Next up, we have another Speedy P9, and this isn't just any Speedy P9. No. This is done in a cornflower blue ostrich. Stunning, perfection, bravo Pharrell. This is absolutely beautiful. Now, when it comes to exotics, ostrich is going to be your most hard wearing. Like this is going to be your ride or die, can take a beating. You would think it would be alligator or crocodile. Not the case at all. If you're looking for a really good exotic that you don't have to worry about, like python scales lifting or the scales of lizard cracking or even alligator and crocodile. I have an alligator clutch I need to send out for repair. Anyway, look to ostrich. It's going to be the most hard wearing exotic of them all. And with this next outfit, it looks like this is an updated version of the Nil. Check out those pants. The Prince of Wales check in full display, done in a metallic. I think this was done in a metallic weave, like actual metal woven into the fabric. I am lost for words, you guys. I love that it's both tacky and avant-garde while also still being understated in a strange way. Like these pants, guys, I could just see them shimmering as they moved. Now, speaking of the videographer, with Pharrell Williams collections, you need to be able to focus in on the details. I think for the video of the runway, they spent too much time with the aerial acrobatics, flipping around. You barely got to rest the eye, so it wasn't until I got to see the actual photos from the show that I could actually appreciate what was actually happening there on the runway. Like I could tell it was good, but then once you see the up close, mind blown. Like, trust me, mind blown. But with the nil, this is another vintage bag that Pharrell Williams intelligently brought back. Nicola Gasquier, looking at you. I just love that he has like an absolute appreciation for the brand's history. There are so many good bags in the archive that we were all like, why is this discontinued when it happened? So the fact that he's bringing back the nil, and we're looking at the Amazon again, and you know, I think the Danube had already come back pre-Pharrell Williams, but again, the Danube is a fabulous bag. I used to have one back in the day. Now, next up, we see the Monstery backpack. Historically, backpacks really don't do much for me. I think that I don't know, they're not comfortable. If you're traveling with one, I'm freaking out the entire time because I'm thinking someone's gonna like reach in and steal it. So I have to carry it on my front like a koala, kangaroo, baby moment. Just not the vibe. Nonetheless, really well done. Now, if you loved those pants, but you don't want to spend that much money on pants, you want something a little bit more versatile, then maybe look towards the Prince of Wales check jacket, which was done in that same metallic fabric. Again, so over the top. It moves like water on the body. The way it catches the light and shimmers, stunning. Stunning. Another thing that really excited me was the carpet bags. And these carpet bags, the way that they're done, the print really reminded me of those historic William Morris prints. IYKYK, right? This first one has the unicorn or a goat on the side of it with some flowers. Absolutely stunning. It looks like this is going to be like a Speedy bandolier keep all moment. I love the LV chain on there, but it's low-key giving Valentino / Celine chain, so... which, if you didn't know, the Celine Triomphe is actually dedicated to the detail on the chain around the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Fun fact. I know it's not a Celine video, but I'm full of useless fun trivia for you today. Coming up, we have our first trunk. And you guys, this is why I broke out the Swarovski Gemma ear cuff, because guys, these crystals, these embellishments are so amazingly over the top, perfect for the theme of the collection. This one is a stunningly done hard-sided trunk. I love that they really leaned into the gold trim here. Gorgeous. And it was such a treat to actually see the trunks come out on the runway with these trunk carts, because normally this isn't something you would think that could come actually down the runway. I know they've done it once or twice in the past, but to see this many hard-sided trunks, could you imagine all the different colors and jewels just lined up in the corner of your room? If one of you is able to do that, my VVIC people out there, send me a photo, because I just want to ogle over these majestic trunks. So we had it originally in kind of like a green brownish color. Next up, we have this beautiful shade of ruby oxblood. Again, stunningly done. I love the outfit that he paired it with. Listen, the trunk here is the main attraction for this look on the runway, but I love that he just kind of did like a fun, casual summer look for the person here on the runway. Next up, this coat is going to live in my head rent-free. You all know I love a good oversized wool coat with a shawl collar. This does not disappoint whatsoever. Again, we're seeing those socks, but now we have kind of an updated, I'm going to say this is like a Speedy P9. It looks like it's done in leather, but instead of the monogram, we're seeing it in the stripes, which is absolutely fabulous. It does have Louis Vuitton posted there at the bottom, but whenever you see an iconic Speedy shape, you automatically think Vuitton anyway. Roll with it. I could have done without this puffer jacket and the monogram. I feel like we've seen it before. I think this was one of the weakest things of the show. And even at that point, I'm nitpicking. Now, this next jacket, this beautiful oxblood wool masterpiece, no notes. LV, if you want to send me one, my P.O. box is down below in the description. A boy can dream. Leave me alone. Now, the bag that they paired with my favorite jacket, this is gorgeous. It's kind of giving Celine Romy energy. It just looks like a bag that's simple, utilitarian. It's made of suede. You have that V pocket there on the front. Slide your phone in or your card holder if you want easy access, throw it on the shoulder, and you're good to go. This is going to be perfect for those late summer days. Suede for summer. It's going to be a big thing here for 2025. We're going to see this trend carry into 2026. Now, this next bag kind of reminded me of the old, and I cannot, was it Tobago? The old Tobago collection, I think is what it was called. It reminds me of those carryalls. If you guys remember what I'm talking about, they came in like what? Black, yellow, red, blue. So it would have been like 22 years ago. Like it was a minute ago. Like these were older back then. But it reminds me of that kind of carryall, which it's fun to see. LV heritage at its core is about travel. I don't think it was until the Marc Jacobs era that we actually started to see runway clothing. And even then, I think they were mostly costume in the earlier days. But LV at its core is about travel. You go to LV for your travel pieces, your hard-wearing monogram pieces that you can just kind of throw and trust and look fabulous. That is what they're known for, and it's amazing to see Pharrell kind of pulling from the archives and bringing back some of these older pieces. It's amazing. Pharrell is nailing it. This next look no notes. Once again, we have this gorgeous oxblood suit, matching shirt underneath, and then we have kind of like a silk shawl underneath, kind of adding another layer of dimension here. And another one of those William Morris inspired carpet bags. This one is going to give you monkeys. It has the frog again. Hello, we love a theme. You also have on there the peacock. So when I think of a beautiful garden in India, this is kind of the things I would imagine, like the peacocks. A lot of this is almost kind of giving White Lotus adjacent energy with its kind of its exotic travel appeal, if you will. This next look with this, again, we saw a striped Speedy. I'm going to call it a P9. I know I'm probably wrong, but give it to me, right? Like, we're just getting through this. I love this next look. First of all, we have that gorgeous leather bomber jacket. Again, a Pharrell Williams, it's all about the details. So check out the pleat here on the front of these trousers, guys. Absolutely stunning. It was actually the same trouser pleat was done on look 1 of the show for the opener. And when I first saw it in the video, I'm like, okay, why are we opening with this look? It's just a boring blue suit. Like, what's going on? But you have to look at the details. So don't just take the show for granted with the video on YouTube. Go into the Vogue app, go over to Louis Vuitton with the photos, like actually dive in. And it's just like eye candy. The eye continues to move and it keeps capturing new details that you didn't notice the last time you looked. I know I'm really talking it up, guys, but this show was beyond fabulous, if you will. Again, with this next look, it looks like we have a Louis Vuitton shopper tote, kind of in a mini size. Again, he's pulling from the archives. This what it was originally, what was this, the Reed PM for the Vernis collection back in the Marc Jacobs era. Pharrell is killing it. Take a closer look at this model's neckline. You have like the traditional long coat. You have the buttoned up Oxford underneath with a tie, but the sweater, this cable knit sweater and the detail with those jewels around the neck, we love a theme, and a good theme at that. Like, just stunning pieces. Now for this next piece, I love that he kind of paired these silk basketball shorts with a crystal emblazoned blazer. Stunning. We have another little mini Speedy here, done in the stripes as well. We have some more Prince of Wales check here with that kind of east-west keep-all that we saw before. This one looks a little bit bigger, and it looks like it also has the D-rings to go crossbody or on the shoulder. I see that it's already emblazoned with chains, if you will. Gorgeous. And again, check out the crystal detail down this model's pants. Just, it's all in the details. I also love that he kind of experimented with denim and new dyeing techniques, which was just top tier with this jacket. We have another, is this the Christopher or the Daniel backpack? I don't stay current on their backpacks, so forgive me. I only know the name of the Monsterie because, again, it's a reiteration of a classic piece that had been discontinued. So up next we have kind of an unnamed bag. Again, it's squinched up in the model's hand, so I can't really tell what it is. But again, I love that he kind of leans into those classic monogram pieces from LV. It's just, he gets it. He finally gets the brand, and we haven't seen this at LV since Marc Jacobs left. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some amazing pieces with Virgil Abloh's collections. He was doing an amazing job. They were very interesting, but he was like pushing the envelope, and it was starting to get away from what Louis Vuitton was at its core. And when you had Nicolas Ghesquière over in women's still, like, it's just like we get boring bag after boring bag after boring bag. But with Pharrell Williams, it's a fresh take on modern classics. It's amazing. So speaking of trunks, we have another one that's done in kind of, again, another jewel tone here and like a clear acrylic. This would look fabulous in someone's living room. Now, I want to call attention to this mink jacket. Now, some of you may not love fur. I get it. I appreciate that. But for this jacket, this one is done in kind of a pixelated effect. And each of these different colors is another little piece of the fur stitched together to create this amazing overblown pixelated fantasy, if you will. Again, I love that it's done with these like casual, maybe they're swim shorts, basketball shorts, what have you. This messenger bag, it's kind of plain. Again, not one of my favorites, but I love that they paired this entire look with those LV monogram crocheted socks and like the world's coolest hiking boots. Like the next time you're hiking, you better have these boots on because these are next level. Now, we also had some new yoga bags, which is fabulous. You know, again, about summer, we're all about activity, improving ourselves, and yoga is a good way to do that. We all need to get our stretches in every day. I loved this whole purple look with the fringe at the bottom. You all know I love a good fringe moment. And I like that they paired this rich purple with these shades of aqua, blue, and it looks like that's going to be stingray leather on there. That is, I keep saying it, it's next level. We have another purple bag that's kind of part of this Utilitarian collection. I wonder if that's not made out of denim as well. And guys, the most gorgeous jacket came down the runway. This, at first glance, it's just like a plain green puffer, probably done in a nylon, poly-nylon blend. But the way that they encrusted the hood and all of these jewels and pearls, it is stunning, it is gorgeous, but please don't buy it because I could see all the prongs from those crystals catching and snagging in along the top of the back here of the body of the jacket. So eventually it's going to ruin itself. Like, it is inevitable. But if you're worried about the jacket murdering itself like I am, like literally it's going to tear itself apart, then buy the keep all. It is that simple. Just get the jewel encrusted, pearl encrusted keep all. I am lost for words. I saw this come down the runway and I'm like, could I just get like a Speedy 30 done in those crystals? I mean, sure, it would cost an absolute fortune. No two questions about it. But guys, Pharrell gets it. He literally gets it. This is on theme. The color's stunning. I can see the garden in Mumbai. Oh God, perfection. Absolute perfection. Even in this little knitted polo that it's worn with, you kind of almost, I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but you almost see the LV logo stitched into the colors. Just sublime. Absolutely stunning. We got another good bomber with another Speedy P9. I can't tell if it's going to be monogrammed in a metallic or not, but I love that they did the nylon paracord with it. Listen, a lot of this is also, in my mind, kind of inspired from that Miu Miu collection a couple of years ago, or maybe a couple of seasons. My time is all blending together. But kind of like that office siren with these Oxfords and the stripes, and these paracord bag charms, which I made my own for my LL Bean boat and tote. Peep my Instagram for details. Just gorgeous. We have another exotic trunk here, which is stunning. This collection was so phenomenal because, again, it was inspired by India. So to bring back the Wes Anderson design, I think actually his brother Eric designed the monogram, but to bring back that print for this collection, again, Pharrell Williams just understands the history of the brand. And to see all of these different keep all bandoliers, Speedies, the trunks stacked up, the nil, like just seeing this pattern again just brought back so many good memories of like 2006, 2007. It was such a fun time to be into luxury. So the fact that we're going to have a second chance at purchasing this, unlike the botched Murakami collections, I said what I said, don't come for me, is just absolutely phenomenal. I might try and get an SLG or one of the little mini Speedies from those pieces. We also saw it on denim, embroidered on denim, which is stunning. Just the way that Pharrell Williams is able to take these classics, make them modern, and still keep it classic. Just beyond, next level. It looks like we might be getting a full-size sack plaid again. We have it here in the Darjeeling Limited print, which I'm excited about. We have the frog bag. This is that little frog bag I was telling you about. It's like a hard-sided trunk with some frog accents. Again, on theme. Perfectly done. Now, this next one looks like those like a monogram version of those East-West keep-alls that we saw before with the longer kind of shoulder straps. I think this is going to be a very versatile bag. I could see you packing this up for like a short weekend stay somewhere, or if you're bumming around the city and have a lot to carry, minus a laptop. It doesn't look like it's going to fit, but if you have a lot to carry, this could be a good bag for you. This is going to be kind of like a cargo keep-all. Again, we've got the frog lock on there. Love the leather they chose. We have that suede hobo that we saw earlier in a different colorway. This is going to lean more like a pea soup green almost. And it looks like we have another shopper done in a crocodile. The weakest part of the show, in my opinion, was the domino trunks. When they first came out, I was like, ooh, Kusama? It's 2025. It's kind of leaning into that energy, but again, the whole runway atmosphere was chutes and ladders, or snakes and ladders, as I should say. So to have the dye there, it makes sense. Checks out, right? Then we have one of my favorites, the nil done in a gorgeous chocolate ostrich. Hello, fabulous. This collection as a whole was just top tier. At first glance didn't look like anything, but then we saw the crystals and the metal details, the metal fabric, the mink made to look like pixels. We saw gorgeous explosions of frogs and the Darjeeling Limited print, and the music done with the show was top notch. We saw, the runway, fantastical. It was like a life-size chutes and ladders game board laid out before us. Looks 1 through 76. There might have been 3 or 4 weak looks overall, and that's just me being very picky. I think from start to finish, it was a really solid display of Pharrell Williams and his team's talent, their creative ideas. I hate to say it, I've said this before, the men's section is where it's at Louis Vuitton. I think the women's section, that department is just incredibly stale. I think the clothing is beautiful, but like the handbags, I can think of very little that really stick out in my mind over the last few years. And it's such a shame because LV as a whole used to be such a solid brand. Again, like the men's section was kind of their weak point, but the tables have turned, you guys. And a lot of you have echoed that sentiment down in my comments on previous LV videos. Like Pharrell Williams, he gets it. Virgil Abloh, stunning, amazing. Such a short time there at LV, but it's going to be heavily revered for years to come. He gets it. He understands the brand, the heritage, where it's going, where it needs to be, where it is now, where it was in the past. And he gives us the most beautiful, modern, current interpretation of that. And it's just nails it every single time. I'm sorry, Pharrell. I really thought this was just going to be like a publicity stunt. It'd be short-lived and like, oh, the Speedy P9 was the best we were going to get. He just continues to surprise. And I am so excited to see what the following collections he gives us. If they've been this good so far, they're just going to keep getting better. And I am so excited. Let me know down in the comments, what did you think of this collection? What was your favorite bag? Will Will you be buying that gorgeous crystal keepall, or are you going to keep it classic and stick to like the older nil, or maybe one of these colors of the Speedy P9? Let's get a conversation going. And until next time, guys, stay safe, have fun. Definitely watch the show, but look at the detailed photos because you're going to miss a lot with that camera work. It was literally so bad. That's all. That was my major critique of the show. Watching the show, you couldn't focus because it's just like kept panning and zooming and flipping around. But the photos, that's where it's at. You need to see the details because that's where Pharrell Williams does his best work. It's in the details. Until next time, guys, stay safe, have fun, happy shopping. Bye.